Hello, ghosties. You're listening to Not My Ghost.
Not My Problem. I'm Kelly.
And I'm Jen.
Whether you're a skeptic, a true believer, or somewhere in between, join us for a journey into the unknown.
Because remember, when it comes to the paranormal, it may not be our problem,
but it's certainly someone's problem.
Not all paths are straight. Some twist deep into the unknown. Hey, I'm Amanda Joy, and every Thursday, a new episode of Down the Crooked Path beckons. Paranormal stories, strange encounters, and folklore that lingers long after dark. So take a deep breath, grab your flashlight, or let the mysteries guide your steps. Down the Crooked Path, available wherever you listen to podcasts.
Jen, this podcast is stupid.
According to some random man on Hinge, it is.
That's the best.
Yeah. Dating's fun, guys. Okay, so here's the story. I'm on dating apps, as you all know. Send applications to our inbox. It's fine. Just don't be creepy about it, because then you'll be blocked. But anyway, on Hinge, matched with this guy, little pleasantries back and forth. And this was over last weekend. And yesterday when he messaged me again, which was Friday, so I hadn't responded all week because I do this thing with Hinge where I'm like, I'm going to get on Hinge and I'm going to like swipe and I'm going to chat. And then I do it for like 2 days and then I get bored and then I don't open the app for a week. So I apologize if I have talked to you on Hinge and disappeared from existence, because that's just what happens. ADHD, I get bored. Probably just means you weren't entertaining me enough. Sorry.
Right. Like if you were engaging enough, she would want to keep talking to you.
Exactly. So this guy messaged me something last weekend. I think asked if I wanted to get drinks or something. And again, I didn't ignore him on purpose. Like he didn't do anything wrong. I just forgot to respond and then didn't open the app for a week. Then I'm sitting at work yesterday and I'm scrolling through my phone because I'm just sitting through new hire training. So I'm observing and I see a notification come through while I'm on my phone that says, your podcast is stupid, from Hinge, from this guy. So, of course, immediately I opened that up because I'm like, what the fuck? Like, and then I saw that we were talking and I didn't respond to him. And then I responded something like, oh, sign of a mature man. When he gets ghosted, he resorts to saying mean things. And then we had a little back and forth about how I just ignored him and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, I just didn't open the app. You're not that special. Like,
seriously. What makes you think that after talking for 2 days makes you a priority in my life?
Right.
Seriously.
Like, I get, okay, ghosting is rude, but I don't consider it ghosting someone that you have not spoken to on the phone or met in person.
Right.
If I'm chatting with somebody either on the app or even if I give him my phone number, that's a little more of a gray area. It depends on how long you were texting and all of that. But if I'm just chatting with you on the app and I decide that I'm bored, I don't feel like I owe you an explanation.
Right.
Like, we didn't connect that much. Now, if we go out on a date and suddenly you start texting me a ton and then I'm ignoring you completely, unless you did something like gross and offensive, then I'm not that person. I'm that person that would be like, look, we just didn't click, like, good luck. But I don't owe you an explanation just because we chatted for a couple of days and exchanged some pleasantries. I got busy.
Right.
I forgot to open the app. Grow up.
Right. And that's the reason the podcast is stupid.
Right. I mean, I'm sure he listened to it. I know I told him the name of the podcast. So I'm sure he went and listened to an episode because he said he would.
And listen, maybe he did and he really thought the podcast was stupid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fair.
You're entitled to that opinion.
Absolutely. But why do you have to come tell me? Just to be an ass?
Right. It's just so immature.
Right. It's just, you're doing it purposely to hurt someone.
Right.
Like that's it. Like, and he
And
said
I
too,
get a text message from Jen with a screenshot of your podcast is stupid and Jen goes, "Oh no, I'm so sad." I was like, I read it and I told it to Katie and I was like, "Whatever will we do?
I'm
This
devastated.
man I don't even know the name of thinks that my podcast is stupid."
Yeah.
Oh, if you are the guy who thinks our podcast is stupid and you're still listening, hi.
Hi.
Why are you still here?
Yeah.
Also, grow up.
Grow up just a little bit. When we were going back and forth too, like he made the comment that because I was like, well, why would you have to say something mean? And he was like, got your attention, didn't it? I was thinking, and I didn't say this because I didn't think it until after, but if you would have messaged me and said, I listened to your podcast, it was amazing, or like I loved it, I also would have seen that come through my phone the same time I saw your podcast is stupid. And I would have jumped back on and responded in a more
Right.
positive light. Like, yes, did I forget to open the app and probably your notification got lost in millions of notifications and I didn't see it?
Million you get a
Yeah.
day.
Yeah. Definitely. But if I saw you say something nice about my podcast, that also would have gotten my attention. And hey, we might have been on a date.
And now you're not.
Mhm.
And I don't know if you know this, sir, but you're missing out
You
on a
are.
lot.
Yeah. I'm pretty great.
I know because I get all the sexy pictures she takes.
She did. I sent Kelly a sexy picture last night.
And I was like, send them all to me.
I had gotten home, so I had a friend who got married yesterday. Congratulations, Jordan.
Yay,
We
Jordan.
love Jordan and her husband, Luke. And I know she doesn't really listen to the podcast because she doesn't like scary things, but some of our other friends listen. So congratulations, Jordan. I love you. Wish you all the happiness. They went and got married at the courthouse and then they had a dinner last night and I went to that. So like my hair was like done, I curled it and I had some makeup on. And when I got home, I realized that I had to do laundry. So I threw my normal sleep clothes in the wash. And I literally just like grabbed the first thing that came out of my drawer. And it was this like comfy, lacy bra that I know I said comfy bra, which is weird, but it actually is comfy. So I just threw that on and I'm just like sitting on the couch and I'm like, I feel really cute right now. So I snapped a picture and I sent it to Kelly and she told me how cute I was. I also sent it to Kristen, who told me I was fire. So
Yeah. I haven't showed it to my husband yet because I did not have your permission to.
oh, yeah, you can show it to Nick.
Yeah, of course. I
Course.
figured that was
Yeah.
okay, but I didn't want to do it without consent.
That's fine. Any sexy pictures I send you, you can show your husband.
Okay, great.
We'll give him more
Because,
to
he'll enjoy them too.
yeah,
right?
we'll give him more to fantasize about.
Sure.
Yeah. Welcome to our scripted, unscripted banter.
It's a little unhinged.
It is a
At
little
this point, we're
unhinged.
going off the rails,
Yeah,
but
that's fine.
you know,
If you want to
whatever.
receive sexy pictures of me, no, I'm kidding.
Shall I say we're going off the rails on a crazy train,
Oh,
which might
yeah.
be a hint to the topic of this episode, which you
Yeah.
already know because you read the title of the
Of course.
podcast,
Unless,
as
again,
we
I
said.
say all the time, you're just listening to us on repeat. And
Right.
yeah.
Right. I do have a question for you.
Okay, what's my question?
And you might overthink it because I do when
I
people
probably
ask
will.
me,
I overthink everything.
which is fine. Who is your favorite artist or band?
Oh, God. Terrible question.
I can first if you want.
Sure. Go ahead.
So I have to break it into categories.
Right.
Like my favorite pop, Taylor Swift.
10 out of 10.
10
So
out of 10, hands down.
Ed Sheeran's a close second.
Close.
Very close.
Close.
We have seen Ed Sheeran in concert 3 times.
We have.
That's the only person I think I can say I've seen in concert 3 times.
Right. Old school music, like back from my childhood and teenage years, Elton John.
Okay. Well, then hold on. Let me pause that before you keep going. So my old school back from my teenage years. That one's tough. Fall Out Boy, Panic at the Disco,
Great.
Good Charlotte. Yeah.
Love it.
Those are great throwbacks for me. I love me some good like emo alternative rock music.
Right.
All that.
Same. So speaking of emo alternative rock, in the male category, I have the band Black Veil Brides,
Okay.
which if you don't know them, go to Spotify now and listen. In the female category, we've talked about her before, A Little Bizarre.
Yeah. I love her.
Great. Go listen to her.
Please do.
So what other categories would we have? I'm not a big country music fan. I like a lot of old school country like Loretta Lynn. Love her.
So I do like country music because I grew up on it. That's all my parents listened to when I was growing up. So I do like country, 90s, early 2000s, but there are some current country songs and people that I'll listen to. But there is this, and I found him on Instagram, and his name is Chris Houseman, Housman. And he is a liberal country artist. And I love, like, the first song I ever heard of him is called Blue Neck. And
Oh, I've heard that.
yeah, I love him because you don't get that a lot in country. And as someone who is liberal, it's very nice sometimes to still listen to that type of music, but get like a nice message from it. And
Right.
I 10 out of 10 recommend him. Go listen to him. I know he's on iTunes. I'm assuming probably Spotify as well. But I found him on Instagram and he's just got a lot of fun songs.
There is an artist, a country artist that I like a couple songs of, but again, I'm not really familiar with current.
Yeah, that's fair.
People go crazy over Luke Bryan, and I'm still not even sure who he is.
I'm a fan of Luke
or what he
Bryan.
sings.
I do like Luke
but
Bryan songs for sure.
I have heard a couple of, what's his name? Mitchell Tenpenny, I think is his
I've not
name.
heard of him.
He has a song called Bitches. God, I love it.
Okay.
I like some of his music. I can't remember the name of. He has a song about the death of his father too that came out not too long after the death of my father. Well, a couple years later, but that's probably what sealed it for me was that kind of connection and the death of losing a father. But
Right. So when it comes to country music, the one thing I have learned is that if you listen to country radio, which I don't ever listen to the radio because I'm always listening to just my Apple Music
right.
playlist.
I listen
But
to Spotify.
yeah, but country radio will play, at least the radio station that my parents listen to, will play the same songs over and over and over and over again. And it is awful. Like, it makes you hate certain music. And I do not remember which song it was, but it was like his first big song, Jelly Roll. Have you heard of Jelly Roll?
I have. I don't
Okay.
know that I knew any of his songs.
You would know
though.
it, trust me. I'm sure it was played somewhere because they've overplayed it. But it was a very popular song. It was like, I think one of his first big hits, and I cannot remember the name of it because I've blocked it out of my memory because I've heard it so many times. But when I was living with my parents, when I first moved to Florida, trying to save up some money to get my own place, I had to stay with my parents for a bit. And my dad has this weird thing where he can't be in silence. Like, he
Same.
will come in and he has to have the radio playing or turn the TV on. Me and my mom will always laugh because he'll like come in, turn the TV on, and then go outside. And I'm like, we weren't in here having a conversation, and then you just like turned the TV on and then left. And they have the radio going constantly at their house in the kitchen. And
I have
work,
something going constantly.
and I work from home. So I was in my bedroom and I could hear it. I had to close the door and start my own music because it drove me insane. But this song by Jelly Roll played, I'm not even exaggerating. I think I counted one time in an 8-hour workday that it played like 12 times. And it just, now
That's
to
crazy.
me, as talented as he is, and I know he's very popular, but his voice sounds like nails on a chalkboard to me because it's just been so overplayed. But then funny enough, I can listen to Taylor Swift on repeat and never get tired.
Right. I
So
was just going to say my playlist that I listen to is the same songs over and over and over again.
it is.
I think there's a lot that goes into why you're listening to the music, the environment that you're in when you first hear something.
That also was not a good time for me in my life. I had just
Right.
gotten out of a really long relationship. I was broke, living with my parents, left my best friend back in Maryland. It was just a very tough time for me. So I think I just
Right.
associate it with that too.
So if we're going to, okay, I don't know what category he would be in, but Teddy Swims is pretty amazing.
I don't even know who that is.
Is that his name? Teddy Swims? Have you not heard the song I Lose Control?
Maybe. I don't know.
You guys can't hear that, but I just played a song for Jen. But Teddy Swims is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go into rap, I don't know a lot of rap artists. I gotta go Eminem. That's
Yeah,
it. Like I know
same.
he's old school, but he's still
Yeah.
hip hop in general. I don't know a lot of hip hop artists either.
Yeah. I like to listen to it, but I don't like, yeah, I couldn't really
If it's
name
on,
somebody. Yeah.
I don't mind it at all. But I
Absolutely.
still, it's not something I like
Yeah.
seek out to listen to.
Oh,
either.
there's another artist that I want to shout out. Someone else I found on Instagram, because that's how I find all my music nowadays, is like very little, like not well-known people putting their stuff on Instagram, and then I go find them and I love them. Her name is Sky Daddy, but instead of an A and Daddy, it's got an X. I'm assuming it's still pronounced Daddy, but I don't know. But she's amazing. Like she's got this album, I think it's called like Trauma Core or something, and it's very like angry but feminist and wonderful. So I go
Right.
listen to her because she's wonderful.
There is also a Instagram artist named Casey Lowery, I think, Lowery, and
That
I
sounds
found
familiar.
his music because he watches a lot of like videos and then he stitches himself in and he'll be like playing the guitar and it can be the like simplest response that sounds stupid or you sound like a douchebag or whatever. But I've listened to his music and I'm really kind of liking it. I love finding unknown people and
Yeah.
then if they become big, like I was there.
Exactly.
Like I was there with Ed Sheeran very early
Yeah,
on.
you
Like
were.
before most people even had ever heard of him.
Right. And you got me in
Um
you got me
yeah,
kind of involved pretty early too. I wasn't as early as you, but you introduced Ed Sheeran to me, which is
yep,
why we've been to 3 of his concerts together.
that's
Well,
right.
that last one was semi together.
Semi together,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that this has been a lot of scripted, unscripted banter.
It is. But
I
at
could
least-
talk about music
Yeah.
all day.
which we are going to continue to do.
We are. Music has always had the power to move us through joy, grief, nostalgia, and sometimes fear. Across cultures and centuries, it has been used in rituals, funerals, and ceremonies meant to summon or soothe the spirits of the dead. But in the world of modern music, the paranormal hasn't faded, it's only gotten louder. From haunted studios and cursed songs to artists who claim ghostly inspiration or dabble in the occult, the intersection of music and the supernatural is filled with eerie echoes and sonic shadows. Whether it's the hiss of an old record, a backwards message buried in the mix, or a melody that feels like it came from another world, there's something about music that invites the unknown to sing along. So grab your headphones, dim the lights, and prepare to drop the needle on the haunted side of music.
Okay. I'm
Okay.
excited.
You were so still, I thought you were frozen.
Sorry. I
almost went, are you frozen? Do I need
I
to
was-
read that again?
was zoning out. I'm sorry. I got lost. I
Yeah.
zoned out. I'm sorry.
That's all right. I hope that everybody gets the drop the needle reference. A record, drop the needle on the record player.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't.
See, I'm old, so
Whoosh.
I couldn't
right
find,
over my
I
head.
couldn't find a reference of streaming music that made a lot of spooky sense.
That's fair. That's fair.
So I had to go drop the needle. Drop the noodle. Drop the needle.
Drop that noodle, guys.
Drop that noodle, guys. Oh, it's gonna be one of those episodes, I see.
I just finished my coffee, so it's still kicking in, y'all.
Fair. I had coffee a couple hours ago and could probably use another cup. But
Yeah.
instead, because I'm chronically dehydrated, I am drinking this nasty orange electrolyte just because I already made it and I don't feel like going downstairs and switching flavors.
I also just want to point out, I'm really sad that everybody can't see Kelly today because she is looking sexy.
Well, thank you.
She's I mean, she's always very pretty, but today just like extra pretty.
Thank you. I got myself ready this morning because I am taking my friend Heather, who is a listener of the
Hi,
podcast.
Heather.
Hi, Heather. Out for her birthday lunch. Happy birthday, Heather.
Happy birthday,
I
Heather.
know that this will come out over a month after your birthday,
But still, we're thinking of you.
but happy birthday.
Yeah. But Kelly is over here looking really hot, and I look like a bridge troll because I have not gotten
Nope.
ready yet today.
What Jen fails to realize is even when she's not ready for the day, she's still gorgeous.
Thank you.
Okay, I have some fun facts about music.
Okay.
Studies have shown that your heart rate can actually synchronize with the rhythm of the music you're listening to.
Oh,
Slower songs calm you down, while fast-paced tracks can literally get your heart racing. I
that's
thought that was very
interesting.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense about, slower songs calming you down, fast rate songs like getting you pumped up, but I didn't really think about the heart rate syncing.
Yeah. My old therapist and I had wildly different views on this because when I was like really upset about something, she would ask me, like, did you put on some soothing music? And I would say, no, I put on the song Coffin from Black Veil Brides. Listen to that song if you're wondering if it's a calm song, because it's not. And her thing was like, you should listen to slower music to kind of calm yourself down. And I was like, no, I feel a lot of rage and anger inside me
Yeah.
and scream that song while I'm like, because I couldn't do it in the house. So I would go for a drive and just
Oh,
turn that song all
yeah.
the way up and like
Yeah,
rage scream that song. I felt better afterwards.
absolutely. I don't remember when it was, but there was a time like a couple months ago where I was feeling really sad. And I don't know what made me think of it, but I was just like, I'm going to listen to Taylor Swift's All Too Well 10-minute version. And I quietly cried, screamed as quietly as you can scream in my apartment to that song. And it actually made me feel better. I mean, I think it made it worse at first, but then when I was done, it was like a release of like, I felt my therapist would be proud because in that moment I felt my feelings, which is what my
Right.
therapist always tells me to do, feel your feelings and then move on. So I think sometimes
And that's
listening,
one thing that music can help you
yes,
do.
sometimes listening to a song that allows you to feel your feelings and then you can kind of step away from it. I think that's the healthy part. Feel it, get it all out, and then move on and don't like fester in those bad feelings.
Right. There are some times that I don't know what I feel about a situation until I hear a song that reminds me of that
Right.
situation. There's always the thing between like why an artist wrote a song and then what that song means to us when we listen to that song. And they're not always
100%.
the same things. For instance, Taylor Swift's The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived.
Oh, yeah.
I think about my mom.
Mm, yeah.
I don't think about a man. Although it kind of fits with my ex-husband, but
Right.
that's not what that song like
Right.
resonates in with me.
Yeah. Yeah, her song, "Thank You, Amy," makes me think about my ex
I think
because
about my mom with that too.
yeah, just because I think the big thing that I mean, just in general, how broke was and not to my exes, like, my ex was a decent person, but, we ended the relationship and it was hard, and I think it's just that, like, breaking me down so much in that end of that relationship, and then now where I am and how much I've grown, and also the statue of you in my hometown. Like, while there's not a statue of my ex in my hometown, when I did go back just this past May, which was like the first time I'd really been back, it just in general, just being back home, despite the fact that I had many solid years in the state of Maryland without my ex, it just made me think of him and brought up a lot of feelings. So it kind of taints my hometown for me a little bit.
Yeah. Anyway, I could talk all day on this, but we got to get
could.
through these facts.
We're going to go off on a lot of tangents
Okay.
today, guys.
Even after losing his hearing, Beethoven composed some of his greatest works by feeling the vibrations of the piano and visualizing the music in his mind. His Ninth Symphony was written when he was almost completely deaf.
Fascinating.
Yeah. And some people see music. Synesthesia is a rare neurological condition where people can perceive sounds as colors shapes, or textures. For them, music creates a visual experience as well as an auditory one. Now, I
Wow.
know some people with synesthesia, and there are tests online that you can take where it will ask you, like, what color is this letter, right? And it doesn't show the letter in color. It's like, what color does your mind
Right.
see? And it will ask the letters. You'll do it like hundreds of times, and then it tells you how often you said the same thing. If you do 300 of them and you remember that X is always blue,
Yeah, I was gonna say
you know what I
yellow.
mean?
I don't know. I
But
don't know why, but that was what came into my head when you said X.
yeah,
I was like, yellow. It's yellow.
I know that Ed Sheeran has said before that he sees all of his songs as a color. For
Wow.
instance, his song "You Need Me, I Don't Need You" is like
Love
an
that song.
eggplant color. He sees
Okay.
that as an eggplant color. I personally think that a lot of artists, musicians, and then also more technical people like doctors, I think that there's probably a higher instance of those people having this because they're able to associate, I remember these symptoms, they were blue, so it must be this condition.
Interesting.
Or being able to put art and sound and music, like all of that together in different textures, sounds, colors.
That's fascinating.
So
I
I
didn't know about that.
You should look into it. It's pretty
I
amazing.
probably will. I'll probably go down a nice deep rabbit hole for that one.
Yeah. I got some scary facts about
Okay.
music.
Let's go.
Okay. The tritone, known historically as diabolus in musica or the devil's interval, was once banned in church music. It's dissonant, unsettling, and often used in horror movie scores to create tension.
Interesting.
So clearly,
Yeah,
we ban it.
of course.
Okay. Blues legend Robert Johnson was rumored to have made a deal with the devil at a Mississippi crossroads in exchange for his musical talent. His eerie lyrics, mysterious death at 27, and the myth of the Faustian bargain cemented his place in paranormal lore.
Yes. I briefly mentioned that in our demons
Yes.
episode, I think.
And have you heard of the 27 Club, Jen?
I have not.
Oh. Kurt Cobain, Amy Winehouse, Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin,
Yes.
and Jim Morrison all died
Yep.
at the age of 27. The
I have heard of
27
this.
Club has become a dark legend in music, with many believing there's something cursed about that age in the industry. Funny enough, I believe that Robert Johnson also died at 27.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So whenever I hear Kurt Cobain, I just think about that's the one conspiracy theory that I believe. And I think I've talked about it before on the podcast that he was murdered.
Yeah. I had never heard any of that stuff until you told me about it, so I was
Yeah,
fascinated by it all.
it is. It's
Okay,
fascinating.
let's get into this.
Do it.
Long before music became entertainment, it was a tool for connecting with the unknown. Across ancient civilizations, music held a sacred role in ritual, ceremony, and attempts to reach the spiritual world. In shamanic traditions, from Siberia to the Amazon, rhythmic drumming was once believed to alter consciousness, allowing shamans to enter trance states and communicate with spirits. Chanting, flutes, and other primitive instruments weren't played for pleasure. They were believed to summon something, whether ancestors, deities, or otherworldly forces.
I
It's
love that because,
interesting to think of music that way.
yeah, because there's like when you're meditating or things like that, there's different types of music that you can do. And there's even those frequency sounds that you can have that are supposed to help trigger astral projection or lucid dreaming. So it is fascinating that type of stuff affects our brains in different ways.
There's also, I don't know if you're aware of this, but they have done studies on people with Alzheimer's who can't remember much of anything about they can't remember who their kids are, who their husband's name is, or but they put on music from their childhood and they
Okay.
can sing along to the music. Or there have been people in catatonic states that just can't communicate at all. And they put music on of that person's childhood and they will start like tapping their foot to the rhythm, or they'll get up and they'll dance.
Oh,
But
wow.
without that music, they just kind of sit there and stare off
Yeah.
at nothing. The
Insane.
power of music is amazing.
Very powerful.
As music evolved, the spiritual associations persisted, but so did its darker connotations. In medieval Europe, one particular sound became notorious: the tritone, as we talked about before. This dissonant interval, made up of 3 whole tones, hence the name tritone, earned the nickname, as we said, Diabolus Musica, or the devil's interval. It was considered so disturbing and unstable that some claimed it could summon evil or corrupt the soul. Though it was eventually embraced by classical and later heavy metal composers, its unsettling quality gave it an occult reputation that still lingers in horror film scores today. Now, if you've ever listened to heavy metal music and thought, oh, this isn't music, or this doesn't make any sense, or this is just noise, literally drawing from the inspiration that classical musicians
Yeah.
have used.
I'm not a big fan of heavy metal myself, but it just, I don't know.
I love it.
Yeah.
Heavy metal, hard rock, love it.
Each their own. I'm more of an alternative rock type of girly.
Sure.
I can't get into the songs that are constant screaming. The whole song is just like being screamed out. A little
Right.
bit,
That
like,
is not for
pretty
me
popular
either.
in 2000s alternative rock emo was like where they would scream certain lines, and fine. Okay, I can handle that. But when it's the entire song that's being screamed, it gives me anxiety.
I'm the same way. I'm fine with a line, with a word.
Yeah,
But if that is for you, great.
absolutely.
Because everybody has their own musical tastes.
Yep.
All right, back to it. By the 19th century, tales of musicians making deals with the devil were taking root in both folklore and popular culture. The most enduring legend centers on bluesman Robert Johnson, who, as we said, according to myth, met the devil at a Mississippi crossroads and exchanged his soul for supernatural guitar skills. The eerie precision of his playing, the mysterious circumstances of his early death, and lyrics that referenced hellhounds and the devil only added fuel to the story.
Because God forbid you mention anything about the devil. You must have made a deal with him.
Right.
You can't just be talented.
While likely just musical lore, the myth has shaped how we understand genius, sacrifice, and the dangerous allure of musical talent.
For sure.
At the same time, classical composers were drawing their own inspiration from mysticism and the occult. Franz Liszt, known for his intense, almost demonic stage presence, was rumored to be in league with dark forces due to the complexity of his compositions. The Russian composer Alexander Scriabin believed his music could trigger spiritual awakenings and even the end of the world. He was designing a massive performance in the Himalayas meant to bring about a new cosmic age.
Huh.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You do hear about I don't know, what am I thinking? People talk about the horoscope, astrology. It's like
Yeah.
the age of like Aquarius or whatever.
That's true.
That's a song too. So that's the
Oh.
only reason I know that one. 'Cause
Okay.
in early jazz, rooted in African spiritual traditions and the rhythms of New Orleans voodoo, music again became a bridge between the living and the spirit world. Expressive, raw, and full of supernatural undercurrents. Throughout history, music has walked the line between sacred and sinister. Whether used to channel spirits, feared as a tool of corruption, or revered as divine inspiration, its power has never been fully explainable. As we'll see throughout this episode, the echoes of those beliefs still ring loud today.
Yeah, for sure.
While music often feels like magic, there are times when it crosses into something much darker, something that feels cursed, haunted, or unexplainably wrong. From ghostly figures spotted in recording booths to chilling legends embedded in certain songs, the history of music holds more than a few stories that blur the line between sound and supernatural.
Yes. This is where we shine. Things that
It
blur
sure
the
is.
line between whatever it is and the supernatural.
And the supernatural.
Yep.
One of the most enduring legends in the music industry surrounds Capitol Records Studios in Los Angeles. This iconic circular building, often called the house that Nat built in reference to Nat King Cole, isn't just known for its world-class acoustics. It is also believed to be haunted.
Ooh.
Staff and artists have reported hearing disembodied voices, phantom footsteps, and sudden cold drafts in Studio B, where many legendary performers once recorded. Some even claim the ghost of Frank Sinatra, guys.
Thank Sinatra.
Frank.
That's his name, in case you were
Yeah,
wondering.
Frank. Some even claim the ghost of Frank Sinatra still lingers near the mic, especially during late night sessions. Whether it's the emotional energy of the decades, nope. Whether it's the emotional energy of decades of performances or something more supernatural, the vibe inside Capitol is said to shift the moment the lights go down.
Ooh. I want to go. I can't record music because it'll be awful. I would scare the well, I
We
might
can still record it. It just will be awful.
it might actually work because the ghosts might be so pissed at how awful we are that they come out to haunt us.
It's like when people ask me, they're like, "Can you sing?" Yeah. Not well, but yeah.
Physically, yes, I'm capable.
Nobody wants to hear it.
Yeah.
I don't even want to hear it. That's
No.
why I turn my music up in the car so loud that I drown my own voice out when I sing.
Exactly. Like, I can't sing when I have headphones on because I feel like with the headphones, because you're so close, you can still hear yourself really well no matter how loud you turn it
Right.
up. So, I have to turn the
Also,
music up loud.
if I'm singing with headphones on, especially in my house with all the people in it, I don't know if somebody has come home and is just standing there like, Jesus Christ, shut the
Wow.
fuck up.
Yeah. I don't have that problem. I just have Ellie who judges me, which that's fine.
Ellie loves you.
She does.
You can also sing top of your lungs to me. I don't give a shit. I'm
I
just as
know, and
awful
we
as you
do.
are. So
We do when we get together.
we do. Okay. Just a few miles away from Capitol Records Studios, Sunset Sound in Hollywood has its own eerie reputation. Founded in 1958, the studio has hosted everyone from Prince to the Rolling Stones. But engineers and musicians have long whispered about strange occurrences during these overnight sessions. Instruments playing by themselves, lights flickering without cause, and a persistent sense that someone or something is watching. The building was once part of the old Warner Brothers lot, and some believe the paranormal energy could date back to its earliest days.
Ooh.
Then there are the songs themselves, tunes surrounded by rumors of curses, tragedy, and death. Perhaps the most infamous is Gloomy Sunday, a Hungarian ballad written by, and you guys know I can't pronounce it, that person, in the 1930s.
We tried to pronounce
Dubbed-
it. It failed.
We did. It failed. Dubbed the Hungarian suicide song. It's been linked to a series of suicides across Europe and even in the United States. The melancholic melody and hopeless lyrics were reportedly so disturbing that some radio stations refused to play it. When Billie Holiday released her version, the legend only grew, with some listeners claiming it brought on intense depression or worse. As we talked before, music has the power to make us feel
Yeah.
things.
Absolutely. I haven't heard this song.
Me neither, but I'm definitely going to look it up. I meant to
Yeah.
do it before this episode, but as
Yeah.
soon as that thought entered my mind, it left it.
It did, for sure.
If you are listening to a song that you feel is worsening your depression or giving you any thoughts of suicide or self-harm, please reach out for help
Yes, and stop listening to that song.
immediately.
Yeah. You are loved and valued.
If you are in the US, you can dial 988 for the suicide hotline, and you can find some help and resources there.
Absolutely.
Another unsettling legend surrounds the Ohio Players' hit Love Rollercoaster from 1975. In the background of the track, a blood-curdling scream can be heard. Urban myth claims it was the scream of a woman being murdered in the studio,
Ooh.
possibly a model from the album cover or someone who wandered in at the wrong time.
Wait, so like actively being murdered while they were recording, or like the ghost of...
Well, while the band insists it was just a creative sound effect, the mysteries of the scream have taken on its own life. So it sounds like some people believe they literally murdered someone in the studio. And the band is like, no, we did it. It was intentional. I don't know the song well enough to know why a scream would be well placed in it.
Yeah. Because I could get like, I mean, not less disturbing, obviously, but if they, like they were saying it was the ghost of a woman who had been murdered there that was appearing in the song when they were recording, but actively being murdered, I don't like that.
Yeah. That's pretty. I mean, even if the person was murdered previously and it is a ghost scream, that's still terrible.
Right. But with that, I could see where like you didn't hear it real time and it got picked up on the audio and maybe it sounded cool, so they left it in. Whereas if they were like just plain recording and they could hear a woman getting murdered and they just kept recording and left her dying screams in their music,
It'd be pretty fucked up.
that'd be pretty fucked up. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. No conversation about haunted music is complete without mentioning Stairway to Heaven and the backmasking panic of the 1970s and 80s. Conservative groups and panicked parents claimed that playing the Led Zeppelin classic in reverse revealed satanic messages,
I have heard that.
including the phrase, "Here's to my sweet Satan." Now, for the younger crowd who might not have gotten the drop the needle reference,
Me.
when you listened to a song on a record, it spins the way it's supposed to spin for the music to come out, but you can play it also in reverse and it plays it backwards. And people believe that there were satanic messages hidden when you played it backwards.
So I could totally see not the satanic messages, but like messages. I could totally see Taylor Swift doing something like that. Like putting a message on a record, and if you played it backwards, that would be the way that you would hear the message, because she's very crafty when it comes to hiding hints and teasers and things in her music
Right.
and
It's really
artwork.
cool. And I'll tell you what, if there was a satanic panic going on at the time, I would be the person that would make sure "Here's to my sweet Satan" was in it just to fuck with
Absolutely.
people. I mean,
100%.
come on. Yeah. So while the band denied it, and audio experts dismissed the claims as pareidolia, which again is the brain's tendency to find patterns where none exist, the
Fair.
controversy helped fuel the satanic panic. Soon, dozens of rock bands were accused of hiding demonic secrets in their songs, intentional or not.
Yeah.
These stories, whether based in truth, myth, or marketing, demonstrates just how easily music can tap into our deepest fears. A studio becomes a seance chamber. A song becomes a curse. A scream becomes a ghost story. In the world of paranormal music, it's not always about what you hear, but what you can't explain.
Yeah. For sure.
Throughout music history, many artists have found themselves drawn not just to the sound and rhythm, but to the mystical, the mysterious, and the supernatural. For some, the paranormal is a source of lyrical inspiration. For others, it's a full blown aesthetic and belief system. These musicians have woven the eerie, the occult, and the ghostly directly into their work, turning songs into spells and concerts into rituals. One of the most infamous connections between music and the occult lies with Led Zeppelin's Jimmy Page. Page was deeply obsessed with occultist Aleister Crowley, famously purchasing Crowley's former home, the Bulkskin House, on the shores of Loch Ness in Scotland.
Ooh.
I know, that's got to be like really cool because then you
Yeah.
get not only an occultist house, but
Nessie.
Nessie.
You're going to capture
Right.
Nessie for sure.
Absolutely.
If you live on the Loch Ness and don't have a security camera facing the lake at all times, what are you doing?
I was just going to say the exact same thing.
Exactly.
The house was believed to be cursed, and Page's fascination with Crowley's writings on magic and ritual heavily influenced Zeppelin's imagery and lore. Fans and critics have long speculated that the band's success and the string of tragedies that followed them were tied to Page's occult interests. Whether that's superstition or a marketing myth, the association with dark forces became a defining part of Zeppelin's legend. Taking things even further, in the Swedish band Ghost, which leans fully into satanic and paranormal theatrics, their anonymous frontmen, known as Papa Nil and Cardinal Copia, dresses in papal robes and corpse paint, leading a band of nameless ghouls. Their music blends hard rock with lyrical themes of devil worship, death, and damnation, all presented with a wink and a heavy dose of performance art. While clearly satirical, their shows feel, you're the best. Would it take you 4 seconds? Y'all don't know what we're talking about right now, but
No.
I literally said to Jen, I wish an app existed. And 4 seconds later, she sent me the link to
I
to
did.
find an app like that.
Yep.
Yep. As I was saying,
Not that I'm like on my phone while Kelly's talking. No,
it's fine to
never.
look things up while it's fine.
Yeah,
Sometimes we
exactly.
need to research things during an episode,
That's true. That's true.
right? Okay. I don't remember where I was because I have ADHD and I'm terrible at keeping track of things like this. So I am
And I
going to
distracted
start
her.
with, again, while clearly satirical, their shows feel like twisted church ceremonies, and their fan base treats them as both a musical act and a dark cult. Now, I love the fact that this band is called Ghost and they're anonymous. You
Yeah.
don't really know the names of the people in the band. That's amazing.
I've never listened to them, but I know if you guys listen to the Morbid podcast, I know their fans. Elena talks about Ghost all the time. Huge fan.
Hmm.
So I should give them a listen, but I just haven't yet.
David Bowie, though more subtle in his approach, was no stranger to the mystical. During his Berlin and late career phases, he expressed deep interest in Kabbalah, tarot, numerology, and other esoteric philosophies. His final album, Black Star, released just days before his death, is steeped in occult symbolism and eerie premonitions. Many fans believe it was Bowie's carefully orchestrated goodbye, a work of ritual art disguised as a record, layered with cosmic references and messages from beyond.
That's awesome.
That is pretty awesome. I mean, not that he died, because he was amazing.
Yeah.
Now, one of my long favorites, Stevie Nicks,
Yay.
has long embraced the imagery of the witchy woman
Yes.
with flowing black dresses, shawls, and moonlit lyrics. Nicks turned Fleetwood Mac's ballads into mystical hymns. Songs like Rhiannon, inspired by a Welsh goddess, and her solo work evoke magic, intuition, and feminine power. Though she denied practicing witchcraft, her stage presence and aesthetic have made her a beloved figure in both rock and metaphysical circles. Her influence spans generations of artists drawn to the mystical.
I love that she played into that too, because she was in season 3 of American Horror Story, and the
Mhm.
season that they had the witches coven, and she was a
Yeah.
witch like, she played herself, like, Stevie Nicks came in and was
Yeah.
part of this, like, being a witch, and I love that she kinda, like, played into those rumors that people talk about her all the time.
I like that, like, even during when she was making the music, when people accused her, she never backed away from it.
Yeah.
Like "Oh, people are not gonna like me because they think I'm a witch or this or that." Like, she
Yeah.
was
Still
just
did
fully
what she
herself.
did. Exactly.
Right, and speaking of American Horror Story, I read that Evan Peters and Sarah Paulson are making a comeback to the show.
Oh, I haven't watched it
Yeah.
in the last season that I don't know which season this is, but it was the hotel, and I watched the first couple
Ooh.
episodes of that one, and I did not like it, so I stopped.
Watch watch Cult.
Cult, okay.
I think it's Cult.
Yeah.
You trust
I need to get
trust me.
over this, like, weird thing. I know it's like an anthology and each season is separate because obviously I've watched the seasons, but there's just this weird, like, ADHD autism trait in me that's like, I have to watch the seasons in order, even though
I
you
get it.
don't. But
I get
I've
it. It's the
enjoyed the
same
rest of
reason
yeah.
I haven't listened to Two Girls, One Ghost because
Yeah.
it feels overwhelming to go back. And plus I don't have a lot of time. But trust me, you're gonna like Cult.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Or it might be a little too close to home right now. I don't know.
That's true.
Okay. In the world of metal, King Diamond and his original band Merciful Fate took things to an even darker level. Known for their concept albums full of ghost stories, satanic imagery, and elaborate narratives, King Diamond's falsetto voice and corpse painted persona became iconic in horror metal. Albums like Abigail and Them are structured like gothic novellas, telling tales of haunted houses, demonic possession, and vengeful spirits, often introduced with whispered prayers and chilling narratives. Now, I do like bands that do concept albums, and we're going to get into that. One of my favorite bands that I've already mentioned that
Okay.
also kind of does that in a minute.
Okay.
But first, we're going to talk about Billie Eilish. While a modern pop star, she incorporates deeply gothic and horror inspired elements into her music and visuals. Her early videos feature creepy crawlies, distorted figures, and surreal dreamscapes. Songs like Bury a Friend and All the Good Girls Go to Hell blend whispers, dissonant harmonies, and ghostly production that echoes the horror genre more than mainstream radio. Her sound design choices, like reversed breathing and low end rumbles and whispered vocals, create an atmosphere that feels more haunted than polished.
Hmm. I never really listened to her, not for any reason, just hasn't come up on my
I like some of
radar.
her songs.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I've heard some of her songs. She's pretty popular.
It's a song, I wish you were gay, or I wish I was gay, or something.
Oh.
I love that song just because of why it was written. Okay. Iron Maiden has built a legacy blending literature, history, and the supernatural. From The Number of the Beast, which opens with a quote from the Book of Revelation and sparked panic over satanic messages,
Because of course it did.
to Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, a 13-minute epic based on the ghostly poem of Coleridge, Maiden has always used storytelling and mythology to create haunting musical journeys. Their mascot, Eddie, has appeared on nearly every album cover, often as a ghost, corpse, or undead figure, making him one of the most recognized supernatural symbols in music history.
I didn't know that.
All right, now we're going to talk about, as I mentioned earlier in this episode, two of my favorite artists. First, the band Black Veil Brides.
Yes.
And while there's not necessarily any paranormal things with them, we're going to be more talking about how these last two artists, or band and then artists, use a lot of spooky, gothic, dark, some would say satanic imagery in their aesthetic.
Yeah, absolutely.
And as I was saying, I like bands that do like concept albums. That Black Veil Brides is really big on that.
Okay.
Their album Wretched and Divine is a concept album that has a whole movie that you can find on YouTube. Ooh. Where it's a musical whole thing because it goes through the track order of the songs.
Nice.
That's why I like to, when I get new music, I like to listen to it in track order and let the artist tell me the story that they intended with their album.
Yeah,
I can shuffle it later, but I need to appreciate it for what it is
absolutely.
first.
Agreed. And I will be doing that in less than a week.
Same.
Yeah. But by the time this episode comes out, we will all hopefully have already binged listened to and probably listened to several times the new Taylor Swift album that comes out a week
Right.
from yesterday.
By the time this airs, we are already scream singing these songs in our car.
Absolutely. For sure.
Right.
I've already memorized most of them.
Yep. So Black Veil Brides often references death, resurrection, and afterlife, not always in a literal ghostly sense, but in the way music can resurrect a sense of purpose or self-worth. Tracks like In the End, which became one of their breakout hits, explore legacy and loss, asking what remains of us after we're gone. There's a near spiritual quality to their music, one that frames emotional pain as a rite of passage and community as a form of salvation. While not explicitly a paranormal band, their dramatic visual storytelling, themes of eternal struggle, and flirtation with gothic and supernatural motifs make Black Veil Brides a perfect example of how rock music continues to pull from the shadows. These artists remind us that music doesn't just entertain, it evokes, conjures, and sometimes even disturbs. Whether they're channeling spirits, referencing ancient text, or building haunted worlds on stage, they keep the connection between music and paranormal very much alive.
Yeah, I love that type of aesthetic. So I into it for sure.
Yeah. I'm not sure. Their music might be a little hard for you. Well, some of it, they really go through phases.
Okay.
They have some of it that's like more just alternative rock.
Okay.
And then they have some that's like a lot heavier, closer to like heavy metal.
Yeah, I'd probably be more into the alternative rock versions.
Yeah. You should listen to the song In the End.
Okay. You'll have to text that to me because I'll forget.
I will. And you won't listen to it, but that's how it is.
Hey, I
And
listened to
finally-
Lilith Czar, which I know is what we're about to talk about
Yep,
next.
that's what we're going to talk about next.
So I did listen to someone you recommended,
that's
and I
true.
love her.
Yes. As Jen said, we're going to talk about Lilith Czar. Lilith Czar is not simply an artist. She is an apparition reborn, a voice that drifts between realms. Emerging from death of her former self, Juliet Sims, she wears the shadows like armor, conjuring music that feels less like performance and more like a spell. Her songs bleed with defiance and desire, carried on melodies that echo through cathedral ruins and candlelit corridors. She doesn't sing to entertain. She summons, binding her audience in a ritual of sound and secrecy.
Love that description. I love that description
And
of
it's
her. Yeah,
so perfect.
it is
If you
perfect.
listen
If
to
you
her,
listen,
her Created from Filth and Dust album,
yeah,
that's what it is.
great
It's
album.
amazing.
Yeah.
So the gothic and the paranormal are not decorations in her world. They are the very marrow of her creation. On stage, she becomes a dark priestess, commanding a presence that blurs the line between mortal and myth. Every lyric, every breath feels touched by something unseen, something that lingers long after the music fades. In Lilith Zar's realm, beauty is dangerous, power is sacred, and darkness is alive.
Yeah. And I've heard that obviously she's got this persona, but I've heard that, like, very different from her real life personality, that she's just very bubbly and happy and fun.
Yeah. Like if you see some of her stuff that she puts like kind of goofing with her husband, the stuff that she'll put on her husband, by the way,
Yeah, I was
is the
gonna
lead
say we should.
singer of the previously mentioned band Black Veil
Yes.
Brides. His name is Andy Biersack, and he's a beautiful man.
Yeah.
Beautiful and talented. I do not want to just objectify the man.
Don't objectify him.
No.
They are a
Um,
beautiful and talented couple as well.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so. You always find your aesthetic match, I think.
Yeah. I need to find my aesthetic match.
You do. So now we're going to talk about some musicians who have reported real hauntings.
Ooh, okay. We like real hauntings.
We do. While tales of haunted houses and cursed objects often steal the spotlight, some of the most compelling paranormal accounts come from recording studios, as we mentioned before. Spaces where creativity and emotion run high, and where sound is everything. Musicians, engineers, and producers have reported unexplained phenomena do, 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 during sessions. Sudden equipment failure, voices on untouched tracks, instruments going out of tune without reason, and cold spots in otherwise climate controlled rooms. Whether it's the emotional energy imprinted in the walls or something truly supernatural, the studio can be a surprisingly haunted space. One of the most famous cases come from the Rolling Stones, who recorded their 1973 album Ghost Head Soup in Kingston, Jamaica. The sessions took place at Dynamic Sound Studios, a location with a reputation for strange energy. During their time there, members of the band reportedly experienced unexplained chills, bouts of paranoia, and odd malfunctions with the recording equipment. Some
Weird.
claimed they felt watched even when alone in the studio. That's the worst feeling.
I don't like that feeling.
Mm-mm. The album itself has a darker, more shadowy tone than many of their others, perhaps a reflection of the environment or something less easily explained. More recently, Post Malone found himself in the center of a paranormal firestorm after an encounter with one of the most infamous haunted objects in existence, the Dybbuk box,
Yep.
located in a haunted museum in Las Vegas. Though he didn't open the box himself, security footage shows Post touching paranormal investigator Zach Bagan's shoulder while he was in direct contact with the artifact. What followed was a series of eerie events. Post survived a near-miss airplane emergency, was involved in a serious car accident, and later had his home broken into, all within weeks of the encounter. Some chalked it up to bad luck, but many believe the Dybbuk box cursed him. And again, if you want to hear more about the Dybbuk box, you can go back to our previous episode on it.
Yeah, we talked a lot about it. Had a whole episode.
We did.
I think we
Yep.
probably mentioned this in that episode too.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting. Interesting timing,
Definitely.
but shit happens.
It does.
I've seen that
All the
Dybbuk
time.
box at
Did you
that
have a near-miss emergency in the sky, a car accident, and your house got broken into right after?
No, I didn't touch it.
Oh. Neither
So,
did he.
well, yeah, but the box wasn't even open when I was in the room.
Ah,
It's
okay.
in a container. And I was the only one in my tour group that was brave enough to go into the room because people didn't even want to go into the room.
Yeah. Alrighty. Lucinda Williams, the Grammy-winning singer-songwriter, has spoken openly about her brushes with the paranormal, claiming that ghostly experiences have influenced her writing. In interviews, she described the feeling of an unexplained presence while working on certain songs, and has credited some lyrics to what felt like an unseen collaborator, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Rather than fear it, Williams seems to embrace the spectral muse, treating those moments as mysterious gifts rather than hauntings. I love that perspective.
Me too. I would do the same.
Same. Beyond these high profile cases, countless musicians have shared stories of studio equipment behaving oddly, often during emotionally charged recording sessions. Guitars detuning themselves, mixing boards lighting up when no one's touching them, and microphones capturing whispers that weren't audible in the room. Producers sometimes refer to these moments as phantom tracks. And while some are blamed on technical glitches or ambient bleed, others remain unexplained.
Which that
Record-
happens to us sometimes. We pick up
It
weird
does.
things when we're recording.
We just recently did.
We did.
Yeah.
That one was weird. I don't think I posted that
You know,
anywhere. I'll have to.
I don't think so, but I don't like the way when you showed me what it sounds like to you when you're editing it. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh, I know.
It didn't sound like that to us at the time, I don't think.
No. Yeah. The editing software I use automatically enhances our speech. So sometimes, like, through microphone bleed, like, it more so happens to me. It doesn't really happen to Kelly's audio track, but my microphone will pick up Kelly's voice from my headphones, and you'll get that. And usually if you just on the regular audio, you can't hear it because it's so low. But I guess whatever the enhancing software I use enhances that speech because it thinks it's actually someone talking. So then it turns into this like auto-tuned voice that like is mumbling something. And the first time I heard it, it was really jarring. And every once in a while, it'll still get me. Most of the time, it just sounds like but sometimes it actually sounds like words and it's a little scary. And then I have to go back and listen to the original audio before I enhanced it to make sure that it was that and not an actual EVP.
Right. Recording studios are designed to capture every nuance of sound. That sensitivity, combined with raw emotion poured into songs, may create an atmosphere ripe for strange phenomena. Do, 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 do. Whether it's the ghosts of a musician's past, energy lingering from emotional performances, or something that defies explanation, the paranormal seems to have no trouble finding its way into the booth. Not all ghost stories are told through lyrics. Sometimes it's sound itself. The tone, the texture, the silence between notes that creates that feeling of something lurking just out of reach. Certain sonic choices can tap directly into our nervous system, invoking fear, tension, or even the uncanny without a single word. This is where music becomes kind of a sorcery, a spell cast through frequencies and atmosphere to summon emotions we can't always explain.
Yeah.
One of the most potent tools in this kind of sonic witchcraft is infrasound, frequencies below the threshold of human hearing, typically under 20 hertz. We can't consciously detect them, but our bodies often feel them. Infrasound can cause symptoms like nausea, anxiety, chills, and a creepy sense of dread. It's been used in horror film sound design to make audiences uncomfortable without them knowing why. Some paranormal researchers even speculate that infrasound is responsible for some ghost sightings, as its vibrations can cause hallucinations or the illusion of movement in the periphery of vision. Whether used intentionally or not, these frequencies make music, or the atmosphere around it, feel haunted on a visceral level.
It's kind of like what we talked about a couple of weeks ago with the scary movies and kind of some of the stuff that they do to make us more scared without us even realizing it.
Yup. Production techniques also play a crucial role in crafting eerie soundscapes. Reverb, for instance, can make a voice sound like it's echoing in a vast, empty cathedral or coming from deep underground. Distortion adds grit and unpredictability, warping instruments and vocals into something unsettling. And then there's reversed audio, a simple but powerful trick that transforms speech and melody into something alien and unintelligible. When played backwards, even a familiar phrase becomes menacing, a technique famously used in rock music, but now common in horror scores and experimental sound design.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
Beyond mainstream production, there are entire genres and artists dedicated to creating a haunted soundscape. Ambient and drone musicians like Aphex Twin, William Basinski, and The Caretaker use repetition, decay, and dissonance to invoke the uncanny. Basinski's The Disintegration Loops, created from decaying tape recordings, feels like listening to a memory fade in real time, capturing the melancholy of something slipping away. The Caretaker's Everywhere at the End Time series, inspired by dementia, becomes increasingly distorted and fragmented, invoking the terrifying beauty of a mind unraveling. These works don't just sound haunted, they feel like being haunted. If you have never listened to that Everywhere at the End Times
I have not.
song, it is unsettling.
Oh, okay.
It is
I'll have to
unsettling.
I'll have to listen.
Yeah. Then there's the power of silence and negative space, often more effective than any sound at all. A sudden absence of music can feel like a void opening up, a breath held too long. Strategic silence in track or score primes the listener for tension, making even the smallest noise feel monumental. In horror music, silence is rarely peaceful. It's a warning. These techniques aren't accidental. They're designed to manipulate how we perceive reality, space, and emotion. Whether used in a film score, an experimental album, or a pop track with a dark twist, sonic sorcery relies on the invisible and the inaudible to create a supernatural experience. In the right hands, music doesn't just accompany the haunted, it becomes the haunting itself.
It was just fascinating on how this is just stuff you don't think about on a regular basis or ever for most
Right,
people probably, and it's just fascinating that there's so much that goes into making music this way.
right. Throughout this episode, we've explored the many ways music and the paranormal intertwine. From haunted studios and cursed records to occult symbolism and sonic illusions that stir something deep within us. What becomes clear is that music doesn't just accompany stories of the supernatural, it amplifies them. It deepens fear, heightens emotion, and gives shape to the unseen. A melody can feel like a memory you've never had. A
Ooh, I
dissonant
like
chord,
that because
yeah,
that hits. That's true.
yeah. A dissonant chord can make your skin crawl. A quiet pause between notes can feel like something or someone is waiting. Music has always had a unique power to express what words can't. It speaks across time, culture, and language. And that is very true. I have
Yeah.
listened to music that is in a language I don't understand and cried.
Yeah, it's still powerful.
Yeah. In spiritual rituals and religious ceremonies, sound is often used to communicate with the divine or to honor the dead. That same tradition continues in modern music, whether it's intentional or not. Certain songs feel like they carry more than notes. They feel like they carry presence. Maybe that's why so many haunted stories start with a song, a voice, or a whisper caught on tape. I can say that there are a lot of people that go to church and they sit in their worship service and they cry to the music. And I used to
Yeah.
do that when I was a believer. And people were like, this is a powerful spiritual experience that you are having with God. And I believed that at the time.
Yeah.
But then I realized I have the same spiritual experience at a Hozier concert.
Exactly. It's just the words and the lyric. Well, I believe it's just the words and the lyrics and the way that they affect you.
The melodies, the collective experience. When you're in church, you're with a bunch of believers that all feel the same as you do, and
Right.
everybody feeds on that energy. When you're at a concert, everybody's fans of this artist, and you pick up
Absolutely.
more on that collective energy than you realize.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. So, as we step back and look at the eerie history of paranormal music, one question remains. What if the ghosts aren't just in the lyrics? What if they're hiding in the frequencies, in the static, the reverb, the silence in between the beats? Maybe the supernatural doesn't just inspire music. Maybe sometimes it inhabits it. Music has the power to haunt us, not because of what we hear, but because of what we feel. And in that space between sound and silence, we might find more than rhythm. We might find a connection to the other side.
For sure.
And that brings us to the end of this episode about the haunted side of music, where rhythm meets ritual and sound becomes a gateway to the unknown.
If you loved what you heard, please rate, review, subscribe wherever you listen because your support really helps us out.
Takes a second for you to do, and it means more to us than you will ever know.
Yeah. And you're going to want to subscribe so you get notified when next week's episode posts because it's going to be a good one.
It is going to be a good one.
It's pretty fantastic. It's what all of these episodes have been leading up to all month. And we saved the best for last.
My favorite episode we've ever recorded, honestly.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Not My Ghost Podcast and on Facebook at Not My Ghost Problem. Oh my God, that's our t-shirt.
It is our t-shirt.
And Not My Ghost, Not My Problem. We post updates, photos, and more.
Yes. And if you want even more ghostly content, because of course you do, you can go join our Patreon and come hang out with us because we have all kinds of amazing exclusive perks for our supporters. And like
We
legit
do.
hang out with us. We have monthly lives where you literally can just come and hang out with us for an hour.
True. And you can find that at patreon.com/notmyghost, not my problem.
Yep. And you better email us your damn stories because we know that you have them. So write them down. Well, don't write them down. Type them up because don't actually mail them to us. Email
You don't have
us
an
at,
address anyway.
that's true. Email us at notmyghostpodcast@gmail.com and you will probably hear it featured on a future Paranormal Postcards episode.
You will.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us on this chilling exploration into the haunted side of music. Remember, as you hum along to that strangely familiar tune in the dead of night, keep this in mind.
If it's not your ghost,
It's not your problem.
until next time, stay spooky.
And stay skeptical.